Hello, my name is Ariel Cummings, and this is my reflection on this is my sway on my reflection and survey. So, my first question is, do I consider myself to be an innovative learner? And the answer is yes. Of course, I consider myself to be an innovative learner. Everyone has a new way of learning and how they learn best. Personally, I know that I cannot learn in an environment that is loud or has a lot of background noise. I get very distracted very easily, so I try my best to put myself in a position where I do not have to deal with things like that. Today's education system has become very automatic and repetitive, and personally, if I lose interest in something, it's hard for me to uh, pay attention or just do good on a project that I'm not interested in. So here are some examples of my innovation. This is a picture of me dressed up as my French teacher for a project in high school. This is a poem that I wrote, and there is a drawing around it, but unfortunately, it had some water damage. This is me dressed up as Jasmine, uh, for Halloween. So, um, let's see. When I was in elementary school, I loved to take risks on homework assignments and projects, but this behavior was always frowned upon in my schools. Teachers would get mad at me or push me to follow the rubric exactly, giving me no wiggle room. For a while, I struggled in school because of this. A lot of teachers do not understand that many kids do not learn like this, like an automatic type of way, like black and white. I personally cannot complete a project to the best of my ability if I do not find it interesting or put some kind of creative spin on it. So that's basically what I'm just trying to say here, just reiterating. So let's talk about the survey that I did. The first question that I asked my survey takers were, do you consider yourself to be an innovative learner? Why or why not? This person said yes because I'm always trying to find new innovative ways to help my students and prepare them to become employed adults. This person said yes because I thrive in environments where the goal is to come up with something new and improved. I feel like innovations is are merely boldness and newness, and I actually really like it and resonate with that quote. This person said no. I like to do things by the book, and I do not feel as though I have much pull over people. I completely understand where this person is coming from. For this question, most of the people said yes. There were a few no uh, answers, obviously, but that's why I included this one because the people that said no, they said it almost seemed like they had some sort of fear, like they were scared of something, uh, scared of getting a bad grade, or just scared of looking stupid, or like they're doing something wrong. So, how are you creative in your? Oh, the next question I asked was, how are you creative in education, your personal life, etc. This person said, I would say I'm pretty creative. I'm a marketing major, so a big part of that is being creative. Also, with playing basketball, there's places to be creative. So this person obviously has a lot of places in their life to be creative, clearly. This person said, I'm creative in my education by following the rules to a certain point. Although professors will give instructions on how a task should be done, I usually like to be bold and stand out from whatever the rest of the class is doing. I don't do anything that isn't meaningful to me because wouldn't have a purpose. I try to use my creativity to really make my work my own, and I completely agree with that. I think it's really good for us to follow the guidelines. Obviously, professors, they know more what they're doing than their students do most of the time. So it's important for us to follow the guidelines, but I think to keep us interested and the professors to be interested as well, it's important for us to maybe think outside the box a little and show them something that not everybody else is doing, and just be more interesting and have fun with the project rather than just giving, just regurgitating information that you learned in class. Next question that I have: has your education offered you the opportunity to be creative? Please share those instances. So this person said, yes, but very rarely and only to a certain extent. We are given work and told exactly what we are to do, and there isn't much room for creativity, but sometimes you can squeeze it in there. I definitely agree with that. I think, especially in high school, the only time that I had a chance to be creative were sometimes in English classes and obviously maybe in like choir classes or theater classes, but other than that, you basically have to follow everything to the book. In college, I guess you get a little bit more wiggle room, but for the most part, it stays the same, depending on your major. This person said the opportunities to be creative in my education have been few and far between, but recently I've been able to formulate a speech on any topic I wanted and was able to share info I was passionate about, which is very good. I love projects like that where you can basically just not necessarily do whatever you want, but take time to make the project actually really yours and not just doing something that somebody else wants you to do. This last person said, I have not had the opportunity to be creative or to be as creative as I would like through my education. I completely agree with this person. That's how I personally feel. I feel like in high school, you're just basically in this box, and all the teachers are following this curriculum because that's what they're supposed to do. It's not necessarily their fault. It's the education system that we're in. And I just wish that we could do a better job at, you know, fighting those norms and making it normal for people to think outside the box and talk about what it is they need to talk about and be creative. So, this question I said, are you a risk taker in the projects that you undertake in your courses, or do you simply follow rubrics? So, 56.3% of my responders said they follow the rubric, and 43.8% said they're risk takers. Honestly, I was kind of surprised by this. I thought that maybe like 75% of people were going to say that they follow the rubric, and 25% would say that they are risk takers. Um, I think maybe once upon a time, obviously, as I said earlier, that I was a risk taker in elementary school and middle school and stuff. But as we get older, teachers deter that. They uh kind of tell you not to do things like that because that's just what they think they're supposed to do, and I don't think that's a good thing at all. So, do you think the education system now allows us to think innovatively? 50% of my respondents said no. 31.3% said they were not sure, and 18.8% said yes. So I was actually surprised how little of a number of people said yes, because earlier I had asked, how are you creative in your education or something like that, and everybody had said yes. So I was really just kind of surprised by this answer. I didn't think as many people would say no, because they had said that the education system was allowing them to be creative. And I'm not sure if maybe I didn't ask this question right, but I was kind of surprised that so many people replied not sure as well. I think maybe next time for this question I would put a box for just so they could put their thoughts down. So let's talk about the reading. I think the reading has not necessarily caused me to think differently about my own education and creative choices, but it has made me be aware of how different we all are when it comes to learning. I think this section has shown how passionate I am about education and teaching young people. Our educational system is absolutely messed up. Uh, we are forced to learn the same way, and obviously that's never going to work because we will never learn the same way. There's too many people in the world. We're all different. This section has made me want to become a teacher even more so I can do my best to make a difference in the education system. And once again, obviously, we're not all going to learn the same way. We're all different people. So if we have one curriculum and everybody learns the same way, there's going to be so many kids that are going to succeed, and then with that, there's going to be so many kids that are going to fail every single time. And that's obviously such a terrible thing. That is such a horrible, horrible, horrible thing. That no matter what we do in this education system, um, people are going to fail, and our educators don't care, or they just are too lazy to change the curriculum because it's literally been like this for since the beginning of education. and that is just so sad. So, in conclusion, we all have different experiences when it comes to our educational system, and that's what I had gained from our survey. I thought that I was only going to get one type of thought process, but it was all over the place, really. But for the most part, everybody had the same sort of consensus. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to talk to you, and thank you for listening to my podcast.